Good morning, everyone. And our keynote speakers today share a common theme, all three of them, and that theme is leadership. I want to spend a moment reinforcing to you what I hope you already know, that your leadership as school board members makes a tremendous difference. Your vision for the children of your community, the voice that you are for the citizens of Iowa makes a tremendous difference. I believe there's no more powerful force to improve each and every public school in our state than your neighbors working for their community's children. Local school boards are founded on the premise that you, as locally elected community leaders, will want more for the children of your community than you had for yourselves. And I know that you do this every day. And you'll want to honor the heritage of your community and everything your school district has done in the past, but say we can do more, and especially for those who have less, the students who have challenges that come into your schools. There's no more powerful force or form of accountability for educators than sitting down at a table every month with representatives of the owners of the public schools saying, how are we doing? Are we making progress on those goals we set? What supports do you as educators need to be successful, and how can we help you do that? I believe that's what makes public schools in our state better every day, every year, in every community. It's your work. That local leadership makes a difference. It means looking at what your students need, but it also means looking outside your borders at what's happening in our society, in our state, in their families, and in other school districts. And that's why you're here today at convention, is to get some fresh ideas about what's possible to expect and how it might be done. I see your local leadership in action everywhere I go. STEM initiatives and one-to-one laptop efforts and other technology efforts, from preschools and early childhood centers to advanced placement programs and career academies, from arts programs to instructional improvement efforts that are working with teachers, supporting your teachers in changing how they teach in classrooms every day so it's deeper, richer, and more engaging to students. Your vision is in practice every single day, and it matters. You're also the voice for Iowa citizens in public education. I looked it up, 3.1 million Iowa citizens, and you represent them. That's pretty much a sacred trust, I think, especially to protect this beautiful promise that we make to students and their families in public education. You come from all walks of life, all backgrounds, all ages, different occupations, and you bring that diversity of thinking in with you into the boardroom. And I know that makes it hard sometimes because you don't always agree. And in fact, we say if you're always agreeing, think a little deeper, because you want to be sharing different perspectives. But our communities don't always agree on what they want for students or what the next priorities would be. There are competing values and needs, and as society changes, you get to help that big conversation happen, to say what will we do next in your communities. Garrison Keillor has said that the reason that we have school boards is because when hard decisions are made, local citizens deserve someone nearby who will look them in the eye and tell them why, and that's what you do. You're also the voice of Iowa citizens to state and federal policymakers. Now, I do believe that state and federal policy has a role to play in improving education. It's to support equity, and it's to expand opportunity. And you, in your platform, in your IASB platform, legislative positions have said local school boards in this state will stand behind well-researched, well-supported, and funded and capacity-building efforts to move our state forward, and you've done so. You've stood behind the call for statewide, nationally competitive standards for what students should learn at each grade level in the Iowa core. You've gotten engaged in the teacher leadership and compensation system and you're calling now for a much better assessment, a high-quality assessment. You stand behind state-level initiatives when they make sense. We work with the Department of Education, the Department of Revenue, and I think you're the Department of Common Sense, because you won't stand behind something that doesn't make sense for Iowa students. So but we have to get this mix of state and federal and local decision-making right, because investing only in these kinds of state-level initiatives, while significantly underfunding over time in an inequitable kind of funding policy for our state, is a recipe for disaster. It will narrow what you're offering, and you know that. We won't be able to provide the kind of vision that your communities have for the children of your community, that richer, deeper, broader kind of education. So we have to get this mix right of local and state decision making. So I really want to encourage every school board member here to stay true to that vision, but also get engaged in our state policy efforts, get engaged in talking with your legislators. It will make a difference. IASB is here to support you in everything you do. I want to thank you for having that vision for the students of your communities. Thank you for being the voice of Iowa citizens in public education. Thank you for being here with us to learn today. You're an inspiration to me and to everyone at Team IASB. But let's get started on the learning. So my job now is to introduce our keynote speaker to you, Michael McGuff. So Mike is a professor of education. He has over 30 years of experience in K-12 public school classrooms. He's written many books on leadership and education, but also the Battle of Gettysburg. And I got to hear Mike speak when we had him at a National School Boards Association conference a few years ago. And I'm not a history buff. I mean, I took history, but I am not one of those Battle of Gettysburg people. And I want to tell you, I was riveted by what I was learning about my own leadership, but the way he can make connections from the history of the Battle of Gettysburg and the leadership challenges they faced to our real challenges in public education today. So I am very excited to ask you to give me a very warm welcome to Michael McGuff.